Hi, this is Ken Hamilton with the Wyoming Farm Bureau Federation with the update for March 4th. This is the last day of the legislative session. The governor spoke to the legislative body earlier today. I'm going to do a brief recap of some of the legislation that went on this year. House Bill 8 was a bill that would allow potlucks and meals, brandings, things like that to be done without interference of or fear of regulation. This bill was signed into law by the governor today, which is Thursday the 3rd of March. There was another bill that we worked on earlier in the session, House Bill 7, which is the Wyoming Veterinary Medical Practices Act. One of the things that kind of revolved around this was the idea of allowing non-professionals, non-veterinarians to pregnancy test other people's animals and get compensated for that. The veterinarian profession and the agricultural community are going to try to get together in the coming year to try and work out some sort of a compromise and perhaps bring some legislation either in the budget session next year or perhaps in the general session 2 years from now. House Joint Resolution 5 was a constitutional amendment that would allow counties and cities to merge their governments. We opposed this bill, and the bill did die on general file over in the Senate. Another item that's going to be worked on, and these are interim topics, the Ag Committee is going to take up a broad topic of the pesticide laws. They're going to look at some of our pesticide laws to see if they need to be updated, and if they do, legislation will probably be brought forward. There's also going to be some discussion about Wyoming water laws, probably a focus on moving water within irrigation districts, a change in place of use. This bill, there was a bill up in this session, but it did die, but I think that there still is a need out there, and there's going to be quite a bit of discussion amongst the various parties to try and come up with some sort of language that we perhaps can put into the budget session next year. The Transportation Committee will be looking at an item, it's called non-toll, non-taxed based revenues for the Department of Transportation. Those probably will be things like diversions of general fund money, but also items like perhaps the ethanol tax credit that does come out of the fuel tax money that goes into WYDOT. The Revenue Committee is going to be looking at ag land valuations as it relates to subdivisions. One of the things that they did discuss was an area up around Johnson County where they had ag lands that were combined with conservation easements, and the question then comes about is how you value those, whether it's an ag land valuation or something else. So while that bill did die, the chairman of the Revenue Committee did express a desire to look at it. Brett, there's been several other bills that we've been interested in, and I'll let you visit with the folks about those.
Thanks, Ken. The first one I'd like to talk about is House Bill 152 that deals with repealing a portion of the Environmental Quality Act that allowed the Environmental Quality Council to declare areas very rare or uncommon. This bill will not, it was signed today by the governor, and it will not allow any more designations to be made. It does leave open the door to repeal some of the designations that have been made previously. Another bill signed today is Senate File 9. This bill will allow the state government to develop economic impact models down to the county level. This is a bill that I think will be a great tool for not only our local governments but also industries in the state of Wyoming that utilize public land. One of the concerns is how many requests are going to come in. If there's too many, how will we have to prioritize those requests? I think that's something that we can easily deal with. Senate File 100 deals with cruelty to animals for companion animals, those animals that are not livestock. This bill establishes a fund for counties to be reimbursed for costs when they have to deal with people that have too many animals and in conditions where the animals are not receiving proper care. This bill was signed into law today by the governor, and we'll see the next year will give us a lot of information on on how well it works. Ken?
Thanks, Brett. There's going to be several constitutional amendments on the ballot this year. We're going to get some more information about those out. We want to get folks informed because those will be coming up the next voting season for amending the Constitution. We appreciate the folks that have joined us in these weekly updates. We hope that you've enjoyed them, and we look forward to perhaps doing this again next year. Thank you.